What would you do if your 84-year-old mother vanished in the middle of the night, and the only thing left behind was blood on the porch and a shadowy figure on a doorbell camera? Now imagine offering $1 million just to find her. That's exactly what Savannah Guthrie has done as the desperate search for her mother, Nancy Guthrie. New surveillance video, DNA delays, internet accusations, and thousands of tips are raising even more questions. What really happened that night in Arizona? Let's break it all down. Nancy Guthrie was last seen around 9:45 p.m. on January 31st at her home in the Catalina foothills, just outside Tucson. By noon the next day, she was reported missing. Authorities believe she may have been abducted. Drops of blood were found outside her home. A masked individual was captured on a doorbell camera in the early morning hours. Since then, the investigation has been led by the Pima County Sheriff's Department, alongside the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And now the case has taken several dramatic turns. On Instagram, Savannah Guthrie made an emotional plea. She announced a familial reward of up to $1 million for information leading to her mother's recovery. In her words, "We still believe in a miracle. We still believe she can come home." But she also acknowledged something heartbreaking, that her mother may already be gone. Since that announcement, the FBI says they've received over 1,000 new tips, adding to more than 20,000 already submitted. So here's the big question. Will the reward finally lead to a breakthrough? Now here's where things get even more interesting. A former FBI agent says newly surfaced surveillance footage may be one of the best leads to date. A video captured from a neighbor's Ring camera reportedly shows around a dozen vehicles traveling away from the area between midnight and 6 a.m. One vehicle passed around 2:30 a.m., the same time Nancy's pacemaker last synced with her phone. Investigators are now working to determine the make and model of that vehicle, similar to how the FBI analyzed cars in other high-profile cases. Could that car hold the key to everything? Before we go further, take a second to hit the like button and tell me in the comments, do you think the surveillance footage will crack this case? There's also been a delay in forensic testing. Mixed DNA recovered from the scene was sent to a private lab in Florida, but officials say there have been challenges processing the samples. No arrests have been made, no suspects have been publicly named, and law enforcement insists this remains an active investigation. Meanwhile, authorities are preparing to return Nancy's home to the family, a decision officials say does not mean the case is going cold. But after more than 3 weeks, many are wondering how critical the next few days could be. As the search continues, another troubling development has emerged. Online accusations. An elementary school teacher in Tucson, who once played in a band with a relative of the Guthrie family, became the target of intense internet speculation. Crowds reportedly gathered outside his home. His address was shared online. Authorities have not named him as a suspect. The sheriff has publicly criticized the wave of online accusations, warning that speculation can harm innocent people and derail investigations. It raises a difficult question in the age of social media. Where is the line between awareness and harm? As the case approaches the 1-month mark, the tone surrounding the investigation appears to be shifting. This week, Savannah Guthrie and her family acknowledged something deeply painful. That Nancy may, in fact, have died. At the same time, former Nassau County Lieutenant and Missing Persons Specialist Michael Good suggested that the $1 million reward may signal investigators are running out of credible leads. According to Good, large rewards aren't unusual for wealthy families. But what stands out here is the lack of verified proof of life. He also questioned the legitimacy of reported ransom communications, saying that without proof, no rational exchange takes place, and that the pattern of communication doesn't resemble a traditional kidnapping for money scenario. Meanwhile, concerns about Nancy's health continued to intensify. Authorities previously confirmed that her Apple Watch lost connection to her pacemaker around 2 a.m. the night she disappeared. The 84-year-old reportedly depends on daily medication for a heart condition, and missing it for more than a day could be life-threatening. In recent days, there has also been fresh activity outside Nancy's home in the Catalina foothills near Tucson. Photos circulating online show sheriff's deputies and camera equipment positioned near the residence. Some social media users speculated that surveillance tools or facial recognition equipment were being used. Others claimed a suspicious individual had been questioned after repeatedly driving past the property. Though authorities have not confirmed those reports, investigators have not publicly stated whether this activity represents a breakthrough or simply routine follow-up work. Earlier this week, Comcast technical vehicles were also seen at the property under escort by the Pima County Sheriff's Department. At the same time, the Federal Bureau of Investigation relocated much of its operational hub for the case from Tucson to Phoenix. Officials insist this does not mean resources are being reduced, but rather that the investigation is transitioning into a longer-term phase focused on digital analysis and tip management. Authorities continue to receive hundreds of tips daily, and yet, no arrests, no named suspects, no confirmed motive. So what does all of this mean? Is the reward a last push for answers? Could the surveillance footage still unlock a major clue? Or is this case entering a more complex and difficult phase? Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll keep watching, and we'll keep you updated. If you appreciate detailed, fact-based celebrity news updates like this, subscribe for more.